Welcome, everybody. This is the Morgellons Call of the Week. I am Robin from Western Mass and the co-host of the call. So I had been suffering from, well, I didn't even know. I mean, as many of us don't, but it turns out I had been suffering from 3 different kinds of resistant mites and springtails, and of course Morgellons for almost 4 years, 3.5 years, and I was at my wit's end. I wanted to burn my house down. I had thrown out half my furniture. Everything I owned was in Ziploc plastic bags. And one Sunday I asked my pastors to pray for me, and they prayed for God to give me creative solutions. And the next day I found Richard's book, and it changed my life. And then I found the call. I got on Richard's email list. I started the diet, and it was a long journey, but I did get my life back. Unfortunately, I got reinfested last winter, about a year ago, and then I got COVID and was sick for almost 4 months, or over 4 months. So I didn't get to do a whole lot, and I'm still dealing with that, although it's getting better all the time, thanks to Richard and the protocols and the diet and the support of this call, which I can't tell you how much it's meant to me. So that's where I'm at, and we're going to talk about the book but at this point in the call, I want to introduce Ethel, our breathing coach, and she's going to share a little bit of her story as well. So Ethel, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you, Robin.
Okay. You're welcome.
Actually, my experience started with a one-night stay at an Airbnb here in Florida. We were in the process of having the house tinted for termites because that's an issue with older houses here in Florida. And so I decided to go to an Airbnb, and I woke up the next morning and had these red discs on my shoulders and asked a friend of mine what did they think, and they said, I thought fleas maybe. And she said, well, why don't you go back and check for bed bugs? Well, that just started this whole ordeal of the bed bugs, I think, were the vectors that probably carried the parasites. And so we got rid of absolutely everything in the house, all the wall coverings, the appliances. I even traded cars, thinking it was like an external thing. And people, even though I was saying that this is something that's happening systemically, it was just hard to convince the secular world as well as the medical community of that. And after just thrashing around and trying to get things done through the medical community and being diagnosed with delusional parasitosis, basically, I had a friend who was into herbs, and she asked me if I would at least try their protocol, and I started that. And I found a really great naturopath here in the area where I am, and she was the one who, she was so excited to tell me about the debriding soap. And she said, I've just heard so many good things from my patients about this. I want you to try it. And so I remember walking out from the appointment and sitting in the parking lot, and I called and got in touch with Chris, and that was the beginning of my starting with some of the products from the store. The mistake I made, and I'm hoping that people who are new to the program and who are dealing with this will not do the same thing I did. I was piecemealing. I got the soap, and then I got this, and I got that, and I thought that I didn't need to follow the diet because I'd been a vegetarian for so many years, and I was thinking, well, hey, I have a good diet, and I didn't have any habits I thought that were detrimental to my health. So things had a hard time kicking in because I was not following the diet. Once I started with the diet, cut the sweets out, cut out the tofu that I really liked, where it was my source of my proteins, and following things more closely, I could feel a difference in my body. A lot of the body sensations were gone, which is what were just so terribly distressing, to have something to feel like it's just crawling on you all the time. So following the diet, after I sent in my thing to Richard, my questionnaire, I looked at the things that, he had, and eventually looked at them and then decided to follow them. I have felt so much better and on a great path to total recovery. And I tell everybody, you can do it. You can get better. The only thing is I think Richard and Robin, they addressed this, that it's kind of like something that goes into remission. And once we had it, we can be reinfected, but we do know now what to do to stop it from getting out of control. So that's my story. I'm kind of glad that I had to get rid of everything in my house, because I have a camp cot, which is absolutely comfortable, and it's very easy to move and to spray. And, so being a minimalist really helps with this, because there's a lot of work that we have to do, and we're worth every bit of the work that we do. But having fewer things certainly helps. Thank you, Robin and Richard.
Thank you, Ethel. Thank you very much. That's very inspiring. And yeah, I should say I went to multiple doctors and dermatologists and entomologists, and my family thought I was crazy, and that's a much longer story, but yeah, they always thought I was crazy anyway. What can I say? But so I want to introduce you guys to Richard. Richard went through this, okay? He didn't just write this book off the top of his head. He actually found solutions. It took him 2 years to develop the diet, with trial and error, starting with an elimination diet, and it works. The diet works for everyone who works the diet and gets it right. It's not the easiest diet in the world. You have to read ingredients on everything, but it is so worth it for the relief it brings. And not only, Richard never stops learning. He never stops researching, and of course we, his research team, help him. But he just released the 10th edition of the book a couple months ago. I have the book here somewhere. How to Get Your Life Back, and it has recipes. I have a recipe section in this version of the book. It has protocols for everything. This is not, you don't read the book like a novel. You read it like a resource. You get Post-its and you fill the pages, you underline things, you take notes, and it's just amazing. And he's working on the next edition of the book, I think. So, and he's here. You can email him questions. He's here every Sunday to answer your questions, to discuss things that he's learning about. And I just am honored to be his co-host and one of his coaches, along with Ethel and Barbara and Sandra. And so at this point, I want to just, welcome Richard Kuhns, the author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites.
Thank you very much, Robin. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I don't think there's anything else like this for Morgellons people, the kind of support that we provide here. The subject of this meeting is orientation for the new people coming into the program. And for many of the people that have been in the program, perhaps they missed some of the resources that we have available. So generally people get into the program by finding us on the internet and filling out their name and their email, and then they start receiving updates. And we have many updates go out. About every 4 or 5 days, an update goes out with more pertinent information. the first update is very important because it has a link to the book, which is free. All of our information is free. We have inspiring videos, relaxation, everything for information is free here, absolutely free. So the first thing is to start reading that book. And this orientation meeting, let me see, the date is January 17th, 2021, and it's being recorded on YouTube. And it will be the only type of meeting of this nature. In that fact that orientation is, unless we dramatically change how we go about things, this is it. So the first thing is the book. So chapter 1. Chapter 1 is about my personal experience. Not that my personal experience is, say, that important to the world, but it basically gives you an opportunity to connect, because everybody who goes through what I've gone through can identify with waking up at 3 a.m. with itching and biting all over your body, even in your private parts, your eyes, everywhere, and having to plunge themselves into a hot scalding bath. Everybody can relate with that. Now, where you pick the organisms up differs. It seems that we have two Airbnb people here, Robin and Ethel. Robin has her own Airbnb, and one of her people that rented from her left her with these bed bugs, and she contracted it through that, and turns out that Ethel also contracted them from bed bugs. But they can come from any place. Mites, any kind of mites, you can pick it up sitting in an airplane, on an airplane seat. So the first thing is the book. Chapter 1 gives you an opportunity. I go through the same things everybody else is going. All of us have taken skin scrapings and gone to the doctor and given them to the doctor. We've all gone to many, many doctors. So that's what Chapter 1 is about. Chapter 2 is about the science, about the diagnostics, which are none. There are none. But it goes through the various theories of where Morgellons come from. Did it come from a patent? Yes, somebody has patented these organisms. At least it's reported there. Then did it come from, who knows, all the theories. Chemtrails, oh, absolutely. Did it come from glyphosate? Well, yes, it all kind of connects into a perfect storm. But are there any diagnostics? No, there's no diagnosis of Morgellons, absolutely not. The typical diagnostic that you get is what Ethel shared, delusions of parasitosis. That's typical. We all have gotten that and walked out of the doctor's office dismayed and disillusioned and angry and upset and depressed because life doesn't ever seem to have a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, it's like we're stuck here. And the medications that we get are best for maybe 3 or 4 days. Well, okay, so that's about Chapter 2. About springtails, columbella. They aren't even recognized by the medical profession. They're not even recognized by the foundation of Morgellons Foundation. They don't even recognize them, as far as they're concerned. But they're very real. They're a part of the equation. Now, what I'm saying here is basically accumulation of my information and knowledge that I've acquired over the 20 years through communication, doing research. As Robin said, you guys are my research team. I had a new person just the other day forward me some articles that I've been reading and incorporating and what I know and expanding my knowledge base. So you guys are, in a sense, my research team. So what I share with you today and on any of these videos is what we know so far today. And as Robin said, this is the 10th edition of the book, working on the 11th, and then there will be the 12th, and it'll go on and on from there. And maybe by the 15th, everything in the book will be thrown out, and we'll know something totally different. I don't know, but this is what we know as of today. And there are people that I'm sure that will differ in opinions with what I know or what I think I know. So we're not going to get into that. What we know is it works. Robin is a testament to that. Ethel is a testament to that. I'm a testament to that. We have literally dozens and dozens of people who have gotten their lives back. And the kinds of emails I get from many people are, hey, I was doing so good, and then I opened this thing up, and I got reinfected, and now what do I do? You know, so we just start. So this is orientation. So chapter 3, that's the, if you're in a rush and you want to get started, that's where you start. Because they are in your environment. They're, like Ethel shared, she got rid of all of her, everybody generally, by the time they get to me, have gotten rid of most of their belongings and furniture. I never had to do that, but many people have out of desperation. They change cars, they buy new cars, and they end up reinfecting the new car and any furniture they buy, and they still. So chapter 3 is environment. It's important to get them out of the environment. Now, before I get into this and forget to do this, because it is my duty to inform you, according to the FDA, that none of us are medical doctors. I'm not a doctor, Robin's not a doctor, Sandra, Barbara, Ethel, Chris, none of us are medical doctors. And before you accept any of our recommendations or start the King Diet, you are to discuss them thoroughly with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any of your health problems that you may be presently experiencing. That's your job. Okay, my job is to let you know to do that. It's your job to decide whether or not it's important for you to do that. You do have the right to choose to do it or not, but I need to let you know that that's what my job is. Now, the AMA and the FDA also require that we inform you that none of us, Robin, me, Barbara, Sandra, Chris, Ethel, we're not here to treat, cure, diagnose, or mitigate any disease or skin disease, okay? We're not here to do that. But what we are here for, we are limited to the ability to educate, and boy, we can do a lot with education. Because chapter 3 educates you how to get them out of your environment. Chapter 3 also educates you on how to get them out of your skin. Bathing, cleaning your skin. Now, Ethel mentioned that we do have an online store, the purpose of which is, and has been a long-time dream of mine that's finally come true, because I know back in the 90s, I was looking here for this product and going to this site for this product and this site for another product. And you know, you end up with 10 different websites that you're going to, 10 different usernames, different passwords or whatever. And every time you sign in, it's aggravating. You have to go through their checkout system and, oh God, what a mess. So my goal is to just have one place for everything you might want in terms of dealing with skin parasites. That being said, you do not have to buy. You know, as I said, information is free. And we have the greatest products in the world in terms of getting your life back and cleaning your body and your environment. We have the greatest products. As Ethel said, her professional referred her to us for the debriding soap. So, but you don't have to buy our products to be part of this program. So that's part of the orientation. We're not here to sell you a thing. You can search elsewhere to find products that do the same or similar. When it comes to supplements, well, let me talk about supplements in a moment. So chapter 3 is about how to clean them out of your skin and how to clean them out of your environment. That's important. Chapter 4 is about the King Diet. And as Ethel shared, you don't cut corners. Not with this diet. It is not a forgiving diet. Many people think, well, I'll just eat healthy, and I'll just eat lettuce and put in walnuts and make it into, you know, a Waldorf salad and put in some croissants and put on some olive oil and That's healthy. Whoa, you just fed them because you are a walking, talking, breathing machine. And they love all oils except for rice bran oil, lard, and butter. They love all oils. You're going to be feeding them. Croissants, man, they love that stuff. You're going to be feeding them. So don't try to adapt the diet. Do not try to finagle it because it won't work. In fact, you may have to figure out how to finagle it to actually make it work for you. We had a lady on from Chicago a few weeks ago, and she shared that, yes, rice is one of the things that are on the diet. Now, if you also have candida, you want to stay away from white rice, but brown rice is fine. I think she could have the rice in the morning, but not in the evening, or vice versa, or something like. So keeping a diary is important, so that you can make this diet work. Because don't try it, do the diet. So chapter 4 is about the king diet. I call it king only. It's tops. It's king of all the diets that you could possibly eat. That's the only reference it has to king. Chapter 5 is, okay, now I'm so limited in what I can eat. How can I make it tasty? So chapter 5 is all about the recipes that I discovered along the way. And Robin has a section in there. She's a tremendous cook herself. She contributes recipes for Thanksgiving, recipes for Christmas that we publish when the times a year come up. So chapter 5 is about recipes. Chapter 6. Well, what is in chapter 6? I kind of forget. Whoa. Chapter 6 is where we look into the different medications that may benefit and why they benefit. We find that many of the medications benefit because they have the effect of reducing dopamine uptake. That's kind of near the end of chapter 6. The beginning of chapter 6, what do you have there, Robin?
Finding a doctor, medical treatment for cholera, medications that help, tests for Morgellons, there are none.
Right.
Physicians will work with you about Morgellons, using your doctor, and doctors recommended by Dr. Harvey, a family practice notebook, CDC study on Morgellons.
So, yes, the chapter 6 does have a list of the doctors that are affiliated with the Morgellons Foundation and other doctors that have been reported. They all deal with Morgellons, a.k.a. Lyme disease, utilizing various applications of Lyme disease and antifungal medications. They're there. And then chapter 7 is really, the summary starts out. It starts out with a summary, which is basically the protocol. And this is the thing, you can go through the protocol yourself and read it and see what is best. Or the resource in our orientation is to complete that questionnaire and let me do the legwork for you, because I go through your questionnaire, look at your answers, and provide you an educated assessment based on different references that you can check as to what degree you're dealing with Strongyloides cervicalis, perhaps, Morgellons, Columbella, Mite, skin fungus. So, and then based on your answers, I'll provide you the detailed set of recommendations, which is what I referred to earlier, that the FDA requires me to tell you to take them to your doctor before you start them. So that's basically the book. Yes.
Chapter 7 also has a wonderful illustration by Ethel on the tree, which is the trunk of the tree is the king diet, and then the branches are all the protocols that you can do, and then there's these little bubbles of joy and peace and all these different things around. It's a great illustration. It's the Get Your Life Back illustration.
I'm glad you reminded me of that, because the bottom line is, when we're looking at this as an orientation, you want to look at the diet is the trunk of a tree, and it has many limbs. Now, that chapter has bentonite clay. It has all these different things that people have used. So we don't hold anything back. It's got other protocols, Mel's protocols. It's got all this information in there. It's got rifing, the use of electromagnetic waves through rifing to deal with it. It's got all this other stuff that you can avail yourself to. I look at it as these are the limbs of the tree. Could be several hundred. What I have done is out of those several hundred is I've come down to the ones that are most appropriate and most direct. So that is the next thing, and that is the supplements. The protocol gives a complete list of the supplements. We have a Morgellons pack / Lyme pack. There's also, as we're talking about orientation, there's a free report. I initially was going to call it Spirochetes Don't Have to Scare You Anymore, but somebody told me, well, not everybody knows what a spirochete is, but everybody knows what Lyme disease is. So Lyme disease doesn't have to scare you anymore. So that extends my experience also. About 13 years ago, Lyme disease also almost killed me. I was basically crippled, incapable of walking without being in pain, incapable of driving my car without using a stick to control the accelerator. So, and through that experience, we have the protocol for Lyme disease. And again, these are not cures. My feeling is, without any medical intervention, through simply targeted supplements, and that's what we're allowed to do. That's the other thing through education we are allowed to do, is to educate you how to build your health and your immune system. And that's what the pack of the Columbella pack does. It's targeted. In fact, the multiple vitamin there is specifically designed for Lyme disease. And we've been out of stock for almost a month, but hopefully we're going to have it back. I'll be receiving stock probably Monday or Tuesday. So that is the orientation of what the book is about. Now, the next thing is that once you receive the updates, starting with the first one, you are welcome to ask any questions about what you read in the book. Please don't, and when you write those questions and return an email, guess what? It doesn't go to Robin, Ethel, or to somebody in China. It comes directly to me. I read the question, and I usually answer it within minutes, perhaps. Now, in the case that I need to do some research, well, it may take me a day or two to get back to you. I may have to go to Google. I may have to go to some references because I don't have everything in my tiny brain. So it could take a day, but that is free. Ask up to 3 questions a day. But please read the book, and you can ask questions about the diet. But the diet is very precise. If it's not listed on the to-eat list, then you have to test it. You have to do the same thing I did. But if it's not listed on the to-eat list, the first thing you want to do is check the don't-eat list to make sure it's not there. Because if it's there, you stay away from it. Stay away from it. So, and if it's on neither list, keep that diary and test it, just like I did. Took me 2 years to figure out what worked and what didn't work, and what starved the parasite. So that's the diet we use to clean them out of our body. Okay. Now the other resource that you have available is this call. Every Sunday at 4 p.m., Robin and I and Ethel and Chris are here for you. Sometimes Barbara joins in when she's available. Sometimes Sandra may be here. So this is where you come. It's our community. And this community extends out. As we mentioned before, we have a buddy system. And if you listen to last week's call, one of the participants shared how tremendously valuable the buddy system is for her. And both buddies happened to be on that call and shared how they work it and how valuable it is for them. See, as Robin said, Morgellons is a very isolating disease. As Ethel shared, you know, her lifestyle changed. She turned to doodling. You don't go out in public to doodle. You doodle alone at home. So it's an isolating disease, and many people don't understand it, and you don't want to share people that I got Morgellons. You know, what is that? Is it contagious? You know, you don't want the stigma of having something like leprosy, okay? So, and I'm not saying it's like leprosy, but it can be contagious. And there's a difference, because the Morgellons Association says it is not contagious. Dr. Saverly says it is not contagious. Dr. Carjou in California, who is no longer in practice, swears it is not contagious. Well, then I have to call about maybe several hundred people who write me their experiences and stories liars. And I have to call myself a liar. And we have to call Robin a liar. You know, bottom line, it's contagious, but not to everybody. That's the good news. But it's like Russian roulette. You don't know. You could go to a barber shop or a beauty parlor. If you haven't been on the diet and haven't gotten yourself or simply bathed and are symptomatic and have a lot of itching going on, you could sit in that chair, get up, and the next person sits in it, and bang, if they're susceptible, they have it. Or you could give it to the hairdresser, and before you know it, she's given it to half of her clientele. So it can be contagious. So this call today is very valuable, and it provides, our goal is to take the frustrations and emotions of aggravation and turn them into inspiration, a call to action, because the emotions are nothing but different energy levels. And those different energy levels have an impact on your physiology. And oftentimes in this program, and we'll do it a little bit later on, we get into some stress management, because the impact of these emotions and the stress of being, you know, the stress of life is one thing. We got this, we got finances, we got to pay the rent, we got issues with the, you know, we could go through a list of many things that we're dealing, and add this to it. It's like having another job that we didn't want, that has no payment, that pays nothing, and soaks every dollar. I mean, many people have gone bankrupt. They've lost their homes. They're living in cars. They're homeless. They've lost six-figure incomes because they couldn't get a grasp on this or have had the opportunity to work this protocol to get their lives back. So this call can be the most valuable part of the whole program, but you're still going to need to work the program. And then the next step is our coaches. We have Robin. She's a phenomenal coach. Ethel's been on this call. I think she's only missed about maybe 2 or 3 calls in 2.5 years. Robin has been my co-host for about a year now, and she used the call to get her life back and inspiration. So this call is very important for people who like inspiration, you know, and who also like to be able to ask a question and get an answer. Now, when we come to coach, the coaching is totally free. I charge because I don't like to coach. You know, I've done a lot of that. But my coaches are so great, I just like to answer questions. I'm just going to be upfront. I like to answer questions. Email, if you want to pay me, I'll be glad, and I will be your slave and be the best coach you've ever had. But I prefer to because the other thing too is my experience with these organisms are a little more further back in my distant mind. Yes, you do get reinfected. In fact, where I live is a very wooded lot, and the organisms, the columbella, are rampant around here, you know. 98% of the time I can walk to the garage and back and forth and no problem whatsoever. There was a period of time where I actually had to wear riding boots to keep them from, so maybe 1 or 2 times, and we talked about this in one of the sessions a week or so ago. I will pick up an organism or so on my ankles or lower legs, and it might be a few hours before I recognize it, but I recognize it right away. You know what I did the other day? I felt something in the morning. I got up. I got the electrostatic sprayer. It's got the antimicrobial. It's got the Benefect in it. I sprayed my shins with it. Boom. I sprayed the bed with it. Boom. That was the end of it. So instead of a nightmare that lasts a year or 2 years, it could be, hey, nothing more than, simple. I mean, really simple. Doesn't have to be a big deal anymore. So you learn to live with them. You're never cured. I'm off the diet. I can eat anything I want. Robin's getting there. I don't know where Ethel is in terms of the diet. And if you're vegan, there's a thing I put out this morning, an adjustment. Rice has lots of protein, I learned. So that's what vegans can switch to for their protein. Walnuts are great, but not until stage 2. Walnuts are great. And so anyway, the program is here for you to be able to come and ask your questions and get answers. And if we don't have the answer, like someone asked a question last week, and I did some research, and basically he was wondering if a certain kind of fungus. I did an update about maybe a year and a half ago. It was called Falling into the Roses. Somebody reported that she fell into the rose bush and came out with this hideous thing. And it actually turns out to be a fungus. And we looked at fungus, for instance. There are many types of fungal organisms, from candida to toenail fungus to athlete's foot to blastomosis in your lungs. I mean, the list goes on, including some dangerous skin fungal organisms. And we take care of them. So we get into the specifics of dealing with these different organisms. We've done calls on the various applications of fungus. One myth that we know is that people who say Morgellons is fungal, it's a myth. Not to say Morgellons is not connected, or fungal organisms are not a part of, it's a cofactor. You can have Morgellons, you can have Columba and never be impacted by fungal organisms. But turns out many people are, but Morgellons itself is not fungal. So we have coaching, we have the video program here, and did I miss anything? What else is available in our, did I miss anything? Did I cover it all?
I think you did. I think you got it all.
Yeah. We have tremendous resource based on what we presently know now. And of course, tomorrow that can shift and change. But that's why I have updates. I like to keep up on what's happening and publish as I know. So, if anyone would like to share or ask questions, please text Robin your question, or text Chris, and he'll open a line to you, and you can share online.
I do have one question that was texted to me.
Great.
From Kimberly, and we talk about this almost every week, but it never hurts to go over it again. And she's having a terrible time with her mouth and gums. She doesn't know if it's coming from her ears or her hair. It's very painful, and she'd like to know what you recommend.
Well, we have mouth and gums and hair. Wow. Okay. Well, for the mouth and gums, number one, we have the Nature's Gift mouthwash. That's the first place to start. It's a more concentrated version of Nature's Gift with cinnamon and peppermint and ionic minerals, and you swirl that around in your mouth for as long as you can. You can gargle with this stuff, and then you can consume it, because it's basically like Nature's Gift is carbon, liquid carbon. It's like charcoal. It's another form of carbon. And it can also start to help cleanse your internal system, the digestive system. Now, another thing that you might also try is we have the kinase enzymes. So I'm not sure if you're fungal connected in a sense, but you can take the kinase enzymes out of the capsule, not the whole capsule, but you could take there's two parts to the capsule, a big part and a little part. You can take the little part and fill it up and dump it in your mouth and let it stay there, and that'll help enzymatically clean your mouth as well. Now, we're also coming out this week with our baking soda toothpaste, which, if you're using toothpaste, check if it has fluoride, throw it out. Most toothpaste that's produced is garbage, got bad stuff in it. We're coming out with, it's taken us 5 years to get it here, but it's toothpaste based on baking soda. I mean, you can use pure baking soda. You don't even have to use our toothpaste. You can simply use baking soda. It's better. And then get one of those, what do they call them? I have one. It's a little device that pumps water into your mouth, squirts it in. Various
water pick.
Water pick, yes. Get a water pick. That helps clean the mouth. So the toothpaste, baking soda. Our toothpaste has baking soda. It has peppermint, cinnamon, and ionic minerals. So it's basically a variation of the mouthwash with baking soda. And yes.
On page 222 of the book, it has a whole section about ears, mouth, and gums. And it lists, there's a wonderful blog that you can search with a Control F or Command F if you're on a Mac. And you can search, and if you go to bestmorgellonscure.com/blog, you can search for gums, and you can use the Nature's Gift mouthwash and nanoglutathione for your gums as well.
Well, the thing about the nanoglutathione is that it's not compatible with the diet. So if you use that, you want to spit it out. The nanoglutathione, you put a dropper in your mouth. You can put it under the tongue where it's absorbed. The glutathione is absorbed. But it's got some orange oils and things like that there to make it taste good. So you need to spit that out and rinse your mouth if you're using the nanoglutathione. Until you're stage 2 or 3, Anything else there?
No, it just suggests, using the blog, and the blog is a great resource for just about every question.
Now the hair. Well, basically we get this question every week. It's probably on every call that we've done, but we'll go over it. So Ethel is the lady with the hair. Ethel,
okay.
Are you there?
Would you like me to give the protocol?
Sure.
The protocol for the hair: make a mixture in the palm of your hand of the Nature's Gift shampoo, regular or foaming, Super MSM gel, and Claudia's Dream Cream, and a few drops of peppermint, clove, or whatever oil you like. Mites don't like essential oils, and especially don't like clove oil. All of this is available at the online store if you need to get that. So it's the Nature's Gift shampoo, Super MSM gel, Claudia's Dream Cream, and a few drops of essential oils. Massage that into your scalp. You want to get it down into the scalp and put on a shower cap overnight to keep it from drying out. And wash and clean your hair in the morning, and repeat this at least 2 times. You can do it more often than that if you don't have, any other obligations for the day. And do this daily for several days. It might take even a month, and you'll get better. You can reduce it to 2 times a day and eventually 1 time per day. This could take, like I said, a month overall. If you're going in public, there are some really cute little caps where you could put on like a swimmer's cap that's very snug and it would keep the liquid contained. Be sure to align around your hairline with Vaseline. That will keep the...
Sorry.
I swear that's not me. Okay. That will keep the parasites contained as well as the products. You don't want that to drift down into your eyes or into your face because that means they're just running down then. And put on a nice little cute cancer cap. They have some cute ones online with Amazon. They're not very pricey, but they really are very, very attractive. And just as important is to make sure that you are paying attention to your pillow. Order some of the plastic zip covers for your pillow, and you could even purchase like a bunch of cheap pillowcases that you could change each night as well. And in time, this will definitely clear up. So that's the hair protocol.
Thank you. And in some cases, people find it important to shorten their hair. Some cases, some have actually shaved their head. I don't know if
like
that's
me.
Absolutely. You did that? So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So that's the benefit of the cancer cap. That you can wear that in public, and people won't notice that you have shaved your head for a while. The headrest, even in your automobile, has to be disinfected. So anywhere that your head comes close to, as Ethel said, you need to make sure it's disinfected or covered with a relatively heavy-duty plastic, not a thin plastic bag that you get in a grocery store that they put your groceries in.
Right. A Ziploc freezer bag is thicker that you could use. And the other thing is, or you could just triple bags to put on your head, but the other thing is that when Ethel says, over time, it doesn't mean like a day or two. Anything you do to get rid of this, you have to be aggressive, and it can take months. I'm not saying it's going to take months to get your hair clear, but you have to do things over and over to get well.
It's like this. If you go in with the expectation that you're going to do this and get free in 2 or 3 days, that's a difficult expectation to live up to. It could be, it might happen, but go in with the expectation that you're going to be doing this at least a month or so, and then if it's any shorter than that, you'll be happy as hell.
Right.
Okay, any other questions? Text in or called in.
I don't have any other questions at this point.
All right, we can go into the aspect of stress. We talked about, and this is a part of all the calls we do, and so we've finished the orientation. If anybody would like to call in or ask any questions about what we talked about, the orientation, this is the time to do it. Because when we leave this, we're not going to revisit again. It's going to be up on YouTube. It's going to be the only call about orientation. So now we'll move into stress, and we talk about stress in every call because stress is a part of our lives every day. And as I noted before, these emotions that are normally reserved for disappointments in life. I had a terrible day on Friday. I tried to order stuff online, and all the shopping carts were turning me upside down to get their supplies, and terrible day. So that kind of stresses get stressed out. So in addition to those typical ordinary stressful days, we have this to deal with, and the frustration and aggravation that go along with it. And when you're stressed out, there are hormones created in your body that get you ready to fight or run. Not that you know of anybody you want to fight or anything that you want to run from, but these hormones are there for that purpose. And one of those hormones is cortisol. And cortisol, as it elevates, causes sugar to be released into your bloodstream. And sugar is not on the diet. And so when you are stressed out, I guarantee you, if you're keeping a log or a diary, as I often suggest, that diary can extend beyond just what you eat and what you drink and how you feel in response to what you eat and drink, but it can also add in the stresses of the day. And yeah, you had a stressful thing at the bank. You misplaced your wallet or something and got home and realized you left it at the bank, you know. So that's stressed out. So those kinds of stresses, or you had a terrible day at work, nothing you did worked out. I always say life is not so much about the plans that we make, but more often about the plans that fall through. Mm. So many of our plans that we make simply don't work out the way we'd like them to, and they fall through, and we have to adjust and deal with it. That's stress. And the stress of these, so we have higher and higher levels of stress. So make a diary. Notice those stresses through the day, and notice what impact it has on your symptomology, whether you're itching more or feeling more biting sensations, more parasitic activity. There's definitely a correlation. So what means is it's good to know how to counter that. What to do to counter that stress. Unchecked. You know, Dr. Kenneth Pelletier wrote a book many, many years ago called Mind as Healer, Mind as Slayer. Slayer, S-L-A-Y-E-R. I mean, and the bottom line is the more you know about stress and how to deal with it, the longer and the healthier you're going to live. Stress will ultimately kill every one of us. And I've said earlier, you know, getting hit by a Mack truck, that's pretty stressful. So, so how do you deal with stress? You have any suggestions, Robin?
Yeah, you can do deep breathing. You can do tapping. You can do meditation, focusing on details of something. You can do doodling.
Yes.
Right? Art, music. Yeah.
There are lots of things that you can do. And there's a free prayer, affirmations, exercise, all these things. Exercise.
Exercise is great.
Even if it's bouncing on a rebounder. I've got one in front of me in my living room here. And 2 or 3 minutes a day is fantastic to get my exercise. It's great. So many of these things you can do online. I have a free video, The Inner World of Tranquility. If you haven't watched it, well, it's actually listened to it. You don't really watch that one. You turn it on, you sit back, turn off the phone, turn off the TV, put a sign on your door, out for lunch, and you just sit back and listen and let it do the work for you. That takes you into a deep state of relaxation. But if you're not, what are you going to do at the stop sign, for instance?
Deep breathe.
Yeah. So Robin's going to take us through deep breathing, a technique that is free, easy, something you can remember. The challenge of those is to remember to do it. You can use it as the beginning of your interest in managing stress. You can compound it with affirmations. You can compound it with visualization. But we're just going to go through the basic deep breathing. And this time, we want you to imagine that as you're inhaling relaxation, you're inhaling peace, creativity, because, yeah, that's one of the things we lose. When we're stressed out, our IQ drops. And when our IQ drops, our creativity kind of goes out the window. So it's beneficial to get that creativity and get our IQ back. So breathe in creativity. Breathe in health. Breathe in inspiration. Breathe in peace. Exhale frustration. Exhale aggravation. Exhale itching. Exhale biting. Itching. All the symptoms. Exhale them. and the emotions that go with them. So, okay, Robin, take it over.
Okay, so for those of you who are new, we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. We're going to breathe in for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then exhale slowly for 10 seconds. We're going to breathe from our diaphragm, which is in our belly. We're going to use, so our stomach expands when we breathe in, our shoulders are down, our back is straight, and then we use our stomach muscles to controlled exhale, to slowly push the air out. And, okay, so we're going to start now. We're going to have a cleansing breath. And we're going to breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold on to joy and peace and hope. And breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5. Let go of that stress and breathe in excitement, creativity, and hope, more hope. And hold 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and breathe in trust and encouragement and belief that you're going to get through this. And hold 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out and smile and just picture your house clear. 7, 8, 9, 10. And breathe in excitement, joy, joy, joy. And hold 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out. And just picture parasites dissolving, exploding. They're gone. 8, 9, 10. And breathe in. You're not alone. 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold on to that thought. 3, 4, 5. And exhale. Release that tension. Release that discouragement. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. Trust. Exhale. And hold on to peace. 7, 8, 9, 10. And one more. Breathe in joy, peace, love. 4, 5. And hold on to faith and encouragement and friendship. You're not alone. And breathe out and release that tension and anxiety, discouragement, and hopelessness. There is hope. And 9, 10. And take a deep breath and release it. And if you have water, have some water. Cleanse out those toxins you just released.
Thank you, Robin. Drinking water is very important. Hydration, hydration, hydration.
That's right.
If anyone would like to share, please text Chris now and share your experience and how the deep breathing has benefited you or whatever other stress management technique you're using.
And I have a couple of questions that have come in also.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, let's field them.
Okay. So Rose from Texas wondered if you could talk about vitamins to build your immune system.
Well, the bottom line is there are 4 things I recommend highly. The first thing is a good multiple vitamin. Now, for years and years, I've searched and searched. We used to use a vitamin by the Complete Nutritional System, by Rainbow Light, called the Complete Nutritional System. And unfortunately, they stopped producing it because they went to, okay, they have vitamins for children, vitamins for older adults, vitamins for men. So they don't make the general multiple vitamin, and all the vitamins they have now have ingredients or herbs, not herbs, but could be fruit extracts and things like that, which are a problem. So bottom line is I finally found a vitamin. It's designed specifically for Lyme disease. It has nothing in it but vitamins. Doesn't even have minerals in it. I mean, so that's number 1. Number 2, minerals. Now we have two options for minerals. The one that I recommend is the ionic minerals that we have. They come in sachets. You put them in water. Do not use a cheap plastic bottle. Do not use a metallic container. Use only glass, or use Lexan, L-E-X-A-N, which is a very durable plastic. So the ionic minerals, it's over a complete balance of over 72 different minerals, and they are completely bioavailable. Bioavailable. So that means your body has to do nothing to break them down. Your body utilizes them and puts them to work right away. The alternative is also we do have a mineral in a tablet or capsule, I forget which it is, which is like the minerals that you get that come along with most. So that would be at the least minimum that you would want to do would be that mineral. But the best would be the ionic minerals. You can, the pH is like 10.5 of the water, so it alkalizes your system. The minerals are very powerful. You can actually take them in a dropper and put them on a lesion. That's a good way to deal with lesions. We have many different ways of dealing with lesions. You can saturate a Band-Aid with a combination of some nature's gift and the minerals, and apply that to a lesion. So and the coral, when it's left over after it's been extracted from the sac, the coral you can consume as an antacid. It's great for indigestion. You can put it in the bathtub, and it will absorb poisons from your body. You can feed it to your plants. You can put it down your sink and it'll clean your sink drain. So, I mean, it's a phenomenal product. Now, the next one, which is super important, is boosting glutathione. Now, there are many products on the market. You could go into any health food store and buy a glutathione supplement for, I don't know, $15 or $17. Well, in the first place, most likely will have ingredients in it that are not comparable or compatible with the diet, and so you're wasting your money because you're only feeding parasites. Second place, the most benefit you could get out of it is maybe a boost of perhaps 20 to 30% of the level of your glutathione. It's better than nothing, but not much. Because bottom line is, glutathione, it's a tripeptide molecule. It's made inside the cell. It's comprised of three glycine and L-glycine, L-cysteine, and what's the third one? There are 3 proteins. So it's made inside the cell, and that's where you want it to be. So the MaxOne product has no offending ingredients. It does not have glutathione in it. It's comprised of bonded D-ribose, which is a natural sugar, and L-cysteine, so they get past the stomach into the cellular structure. The D-ribose feeds the mitochondria, which are in jeopardy because they're being, the mitochondria are like little furnaces that keep the cell going. And they can either burn too fast and the cell dies prematurely, or they can be sluggish and the cell isn't performing. So the D-ribose feeds those guys. The L-cysteine is the limiting molecule to contribute to the formation of glutathione inside the cell. Once we turn that guy loose, the glutathione modulates the mitochondria. It reduces inflammation. It's the body's major anti-inflammatory. It protects the DNA from free radical damage. Morgellons is a DNA killer. It modifies your DNA, so it protects the DNA. In fact, there's even a study reported in the book where glutathione is found to inhibit the production of Morgellons. It's the detoxifier. If you are poisoned with arsenic and are taken to the hospital, the first thing they're going to give you is a glutathione shot. It's a detoxifier. So it gets rid of all the toxicity. If you do research on Lyme disease loves toxicity. So it takes away the food of the spirochete. The spirochete has nothing to play. The spirochete loves to play in a cesspool. You take it away. So boosting glutathione is supremely important, and this particular compound boosted approximately 270%. 270% compared to 30 or 40%. So that means you need to take, if you buy something in the health food store, you need to take like 17 of them a day to be the equivalent of MaxOne. It's the perfect supplement for us. And then the next thing is Acillin, our Garcillin product. We have two grades, the initial basic one. Now, my personal experience is I was taking vitamins, I was taking the minerals, and Lyme disease still just about killed me 13 years ago. I added MaxOne, and within 6 weeks, 95% of my symptoms of Lyme disease were history. 4 years later, I learned of Garcillin. 1 capsule, and my knee inflamed 2-3 times, tremendously painful. It was a detox. So after I got through the detox, I didn't at that time know about zeolite. I didn't even anticipate a capsule having any impact upon me. 1 little tiny capsule. How could it do anything? So we now know that, to minimize detox reactions, because any of these things can detox you like crazy, quickly. So that's where zeolite, there's an update about that. It's supplementing the amino acids, all the amino acids. We have that in the store. And the digestive enzymes, the agro relief, all those will help with minimizing the detox reaction. So the Garcillin is a natural antibiotic, antiviral, antibacterial, not my claim, but you go to Wikipedia and that's what you'll see written there. Natural antiparasitic, natural antiprotozoan. So those 4 are the essential package to start with. Now, how many a day that you need? Well, so with the Garcillin, the initial one, you may go up to 5, 6, 7 a day. When you get to that level, you could switch the Garcillin 2, which has more parts per million, and you could drop back to 1 or 2 a day and go up to 4 or 5 until you get to the desired result. And then you back down. The maintenance is 1 a day of the Garcillin. The maintenance of the MaxOne is 2 a day. And again, you can go up to 7 or 8 a day of the MaxOne, and then come back down when you achieve your goal. And it's pretty much up to you to figure out how your body is working and reacting, and when you're achieving your goal. So that's the main package. Then beyond that, we look at the specifics of what the Morgellons does. It depletes sulfur, depletes iron. So the ionic minerals or the minerals are beneficial there that I've already talked about. Then we have MSM capsules. That's organic sulfur available to take. Morgellons also, when we look at the impact of glyphosate, and that's the herbicide by Monsanto, Roundup, and it's a natural antibiotic, and we look at the impact of it on our digestive system, it starts breaking down our gut biome, and we want to build up the gut biome. Leaky gut syndrome, a distension of the stomach, often an indication of that. So is candida. So we end up with our mucosa being weakened and with a lot of distance between the cells, which means the toxins get through from the gut into the bloodstream. We don't want that. That's bad news, that toxicity. So the L-glutamine is a natural sugar for the mucosa, so they can be strengthened. We have Restore, which is a specific mineral for the gut to reestablish the gut biome. We have, am I missing something? But the protocol is in chapter 6 or 7. And what other supplement do we have? We just added calcium Daclex, which has sorbic, not ascorbic, but sorbic acid, which also helps build the gut biome. So there's pretty much a rundown of the essential nutrients, and they're all compatible with the diet, which is the good news.
What does the word ionic mean?
Well,
ionic
okay.
Minerals?
Say, for instance, calcium. Generally, calcium, you find it in supplements as calcium carbonate. Now, calcium carbonate is chalk, okay? So it's like licking chalk off the board. The body has to break that chalk down. Could also be calcium stearate. So it's a formula. It's calcium and some other atom connected, other atoms connected to it. Now, ionic means it's just calcium by itself. So when you're taking the vitamin out of a capsule, it has it's calcium in a chemical compound. And so too is zinc carbonate, zinc stearate. So the body has to separate the zinc away from the carbonate or the stearate. The body has to work to get the calcium or the zinc or the manganese out of the multiple vitamin you took. Whereas with the ionic minerals, no work done. They're already ionic. Now, don't confuse these ionic minerals with some of the ionic minerals you'll see advertised, say, for instance, for Morgellons. You can get ionic minerals like copper ionic minerals, molybdenum ionic minerals. They will make you sick. They don't work. You need them together in this formulation.
Okay. I have a couple other questions, but Teresa from Rhode Island has her line open, and she would like to ask a question.
Fantastic. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, how you doing, Richard?
Good. Good to hear you.
Yeah, well, still seem to be on the path of getting my life back. I do want to mention, you talk a lot about the emotions, and a few weeks ago, Robin was talking about our emotions, and, you know, she used the word terror, and I'm really glad that she used that word, because that has been my experience. I have been terrified. I have been terrorized by this disease. I have been fighting it relentlessly with everything I have, and following your protocols has helped me enormously. Leufineron, glutathione, kinase enzymes, clove oil. People always talk about clove oil, and I'm an essential oil educator, so I'm very, very knowledgeable about essential oils. And I'd like to let people know, we always say these parasites don't like clove oil. Well, actually, the clove oil breaks through the biofilm and kills them. So it is more powerful than some other oils because it has that superpower.
Oh, that's great. That's great to know. So that's very enlightening information. Thank you.
So I've always used as much clove oil as I can. I drink it in water. I put it in my shampoo when I'm rinsing off after my tub, and I leave that clove oil shampoo on my ears and my neck and my hair for as long as I can. And then I rinse it off and put conditioner on with some more clove oil. So by the time I've done my bathing routine,
they've been cloved.
It's very clovey. Then I put the clove oil in my oils. And I started using hemp oil. Hemp oil is amazingly beneficial for your skin in terms of rejuvenating damaged skin.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the clove oil in my lotions. I mean, I put it in everything, and I find that it's been very effective. And I don't miss out on other oils. I've had a lot of fungus, so I deal with various antifungal oils.
Have you used oregano for fungal?
Yes, I have. In fact, I had a terrible case just before I got Morgellons. I had a terrible case of seborrheic dermatitis that I cleared up with oregano oil.
Yeah, I've been told that oregano oil is very good for fungal issues.
So I just one thing, you know, if you're going to drink oils, make sure they're food grade.
Yeah, organic.
Grade oils for my
just for the people listening. I know you do, but
yeah, all the oils we have in the store are food grade organic oils.
Right.
That we have 2 grades of peppermint, the inexpensive peppermint you put in a bath, and then we have the food grade leaf and the what's the other bark, peppermint bark.
All these oils are very powerful, and the thing is, these essential oils have the ability to penetrate cell membranes and get in there and do stuff. So I just point that out to people to don't underestimate the importance of these oils. They are very powerful, and they can kill these organisms where maybe other things just aren't so good at killing the organisms.
Excellent point.
My question has to do with subcutaneous fluid and sebaceous fluid. Now, I've had a lot of fluid going along with my Morgellons. I used to have so much subcutaneous fluid in my legs that when I would get up in the morning and hop out of bed or put my legs on the floor, I would feel this fluid rushing down into my feet. And I mean, you never want to feel that. It is terrible. So right now, the fluid is down, my legs are small, everything's small. I have less and less Morgellons coming out of me. I have no lesions left. The worst lesions that I had have all but disappeared. I have no Morgellons ring around the tub anymore. I have no discomfort. My skin feels cleaner and clearer than ever before. But what I'm having is, and I'm curious whether anybody else has experienced this or if this is normal. There's a lot of fluid coming out of me, like bubbles. Bubbles.
Would you call it biofilm?
I think it's biofilm. Now,
yeah.
is it maybe the case that if I was in an environment for 2 years where I was being constantly reinfected and I didn't know about it yet because I thought I was fighting ringworm, that maybe I just became so infested that I built up all this biofilm? I don't know.
Well, I don't think we could ever find an answer to that, but I do want to mention two things. One I forgot to mention, and when you were talking about this, as part of the protocol, is our kinase enzymes. The kinase enzymes are dual purpose. One is to break down the chitin, which is an integral part of the fungal organism, and the other part, and the reason and the main purpose of these enzymes in the company's marketing strategy is to break down biofilm. So
Okay,
you may look at. Did you say you're taking the kinase enzymes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, for about 6 months.
you may look at upping. I don't know how many you're taking a day. I don't even remember how many it says you can take, but you may look at upping that because they are to break down the biofilm.
Okay, because it feels like, it feels like everything is coming out. It doesn't feel like it's my diet or my environment. It doesn't feel like it's a hurt finger reaction. It kind of feels like it's the end. It feels like it's an exodus.
Well,
so is there a point at the end where it's just an exodus, where everything is coming out?
It's kind of, and most people go through this with the different layers of their skin. It's like their skin starts shedding and it looks terrible, it looks ugly, and there's layer after layer, and they're wondering if they're going to get better, but it's just all dead skin, and it's just getting rid of all this dead stuff.
For months, but now it's less and less and less and less every day.
So you're on the right track. In about 2 or 3 months, you're going to be one of our coaches.
Oh yeah, and everything I touch isn't covered with biofilm anymore. My surfaces don't have these little nubs all over them. When I clean my floors, I don't see anything questionable. It's just everything seems to be cleaner and clearer every day, but this fluid is coming up. But is there a sebaceous connection with Morgellons? Because I don't know if it's just that it's biofilm, but, and this sounds kind of gross, but sebum has a smell. It has an odor. And I have oil coming out of my ears. It would be normal. It would be normal for any excretion coming from your body to have an odor to it. That would be perfectly normal. Okay, so it's not necessarily sebum. It could just be the biofilm.
Yeah, it could be. I can't offer a medical opinion. We're just guessing here.
Yep. Yep.
And the other thing too. What's that?
Cistus tea.
Cistus tea, yes, cistus tea.
I drink that all day long. I drink as much cistus tea as I can.
That's a great tea. Great tea. Also, in our store, we're talking about essential oils. We do have what's called a Morgellons cocktail. It's a combination of about 6 organic therapeutic oils, the oregano, lemon, clove, red thyme, and cinnamon leaf and cinnamon bark. And rosemary is available separately. If you're not dealing with columbella, we took it out of the original formula because some people are dealing with columbella and it may be a problem, but at some point you could add the rosemary to it.
Yep.
So it's a powerful, there's been reports on this combination of oils being very effective, and it seems to work.
Yeah, it does work. And, I also drink water all day with food-grade tangerine oil, clementine oil, orange oil, grapefruit oil. All of those citrus oils are highly depurative. So while we are going through this detox of getting all this toxicity out of us, these citrus oils will also just flush and flush and flush toxicity out of the system in a very powerful way.
That's right. you're giving me a good suggestion. We should email me and we'll talk later. We'll put together a cocktail, a flushing cocktail then of citrus oils.
Yeah. Some of this stuff is so powerful, and we have so much sludge in us that everything we can do to, keep flushing this out is great. Now, just last quick question. I seem to recall that one of the medications that is not recommended is cortisone. Is that correct?
Well, cortisone, I don't have one feeling one way or another. There are many people that would say no, and simply because it's a steroid, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are many people who have a lot of beliefs about it that it's not beneficial for the body. I don't go around saying, hey, go get your cortisone shot.
But it's not bad if you do use it. I use it topically, but it does get in your bloodstream.
Well, in terms of Morgellons, it just masks the symptoms. It doesn't help them.
Doesn't really help them. Okay, good to know, because I've actually tried to lean towards the more natural, the calendula healing, things with healing properties. Well, you know what? The information you've provided, Richard, is saving my life. This call is so helpful. Robin has been so supportive. I am getting so much better with each passing day. And sometimes the enormity of what I've been through just hits me like a ton of bricks. And I think we all go through this, because this is a terrible thing. No human being should ever suffer what we've all suffered. It's just terrible. And now that I feel like I'm getting towards the end, like you said, sometimes it's just the enormity of it all just comes crashing in on me, and I get overwhelmed and have to meditate and do some deep breathing. But, I really feel like I'm getting there. So hopefully that's the case.
Do you know if you were also dealing with Columbula, or was it strictly Morgellons, you think?
Oh yeah,
no, she was.
I had a lot of Columbula.
Okay. Have you? Quite frankly, I'll be up front. I am not that well versed with all the different essential oils that you were talking about. I only know of the ones that we have in the store through articles that I've read. But when you're talking about orange oils and things of that nature, personally, because I've been ignorant about them, I would say stay away from them. But I'm so glad to have somebody who is versed in oils. Have you kept a diary that if you have an oil and see what, if any, reaction it has on the fluid amount?
I will look up an oil, like best oil for resolving excess fluid in the skin. Tangerine oil. So I like,
right, the tangerine and citrus attract parasites, so they may be great for that, but they may not be great for Morgellons and Columbula, and that's why.
So I should be careful with them. That's good. That's good to know. Well,
right.
The oils that you have in the store are the main ones. They are the main oils that help. And I will tread a little more carefully now with the citrus oils for a little while.
Yeah,
Citronella is okay. It's lemon.
Yeah, keep a diary if you would, because even rosemary, I just don't understand why that would be a problem with Columbula. But maybe the rosemary oil isn't. I don't know. We're at the learning stage. What you're talking about today could be in the next version of the book.
I still have skin dust that pops off of me.
Right,
and I don't
we
know.
Talked about this week, and it's related to diet, definitely.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's Columbula or Morgellons.
But it doesn't matter if it goes away. I mean, it's just like
I'm dialed way back on my diet. Oh, I thought I was okay eating red potatoes. Red potatoes were not helping me. So I've been about a week off of red potatoes and dialed back on the diet and being super careful.
Good.
But as your skin is shedding, there's still a skin dust. And I don't believe it's 100% diet related. I just think it's skin. It is skin that is popping off me because I'm shedding.
Only time will tell. That's where the diary is very important. Time tells, because we don't know anything for definite.
When those little chunks of skin like pop out or flake off, are they benign? I know I've asked Robin this before. I always want to think they're benign, that they're just skin, that they're not columbella. But I don't know.
Well,
honestly,
you won't see.
I think when you get the diet right, that stops. And you need to keep looking at what you're doing and figure out where you're making little mistakes. That's been my experience.
Yeah, well, you know, I went back to just eating scrambled eggs for 3 or 4 days because I was very traumatized. And
and you told me you were doing great. I mean, you were told me it was like night and day.
Night and day. I have had a lot of improvement, but there is still skin dust coming off of my skin.
Well, it takes a while. You know, it takes a while when you've been eating things that you're reacting to. It could take up to a week or more to get back into balance.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for all of your help and support. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for sharing, and keep coming back. And yeah, I'm looking to learn more from you about the essential oils. Thank you.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, I have a couple more questions.
Yes.
I don't know who this one's from, and I don't know if we can answer this, but this person said, I have hyperhidrosis. How do I stop sweating so bad every time I leave the house? I have no clue.
I don't know if it's related. I mean, hyperhidrosis, it could be a stress thing, an endocrine thing, totally unrelated to Morgellons and parasites. For many years, I had a stress management clinic, and I remember one fellow coming in, and his hands were just dripping. So I don't know. I don't know how to solve it or what to suggest. I never did crack that nut. Right.
So hard to say.
It's usually an indication of a response to stress, but somehow in some people it seems to go haywire, and I don't know.
I have a question from Shanine. I wasn't clear by what she texted if she actually has her mattress in a zippered protector, but she thinks that it's infested and she wants to know if she needs to throw it out or get a new mattress. I would like to say, if you're using a heavy vinyl zippered mattress protector, if you're using like a bed bug mattress protector, these things are smaller than bed bugs and they'll get through it. The heavy vinyl stops them, but if your mattress is infected, you need to use either menthol crystals or Nuvon strips, which are a solid pesticide. Put them inside the vinyl on the bottom of the mattress and then zip it up. Or you can get, a blow-up air mattress for while you're dealing with this, and spray it every day with an enzyme cleaner or MetaClean or Benefact, and or get they have big zippered vinyl protectors that go 12 or 18 inches deep, and you can still cover that in a vinyl zippered protector as well. I also think I have read that foam mattresses are more parasitic resistant, but you would still need to cover them and use some kind of protection inside, either menthol crystals or Nuvon strips, and you need to, wash your bedding every day with the laundry protocols. So, sorry, I didn't mean to just jump in, Richard.
I can't answer it any better. You have more experience than I do. Thank you. I have nothing to add to that. Any other questions?
I'm looking.
Anybody texting Chris?
Here, does the Morgellons cocktail take the place of other vitamins?
No.
No. Well, but you can only take the vitamins that are compatible with the diet.
That's right. No, I wouldn't make that leap. That would not be a good leap at all. You know.
Richard, I want to give my number one more time. 732-272-7952. My number is 732-272-7952. You can either text me or call me. Thank you.
And Chris will open the line up for you. Well, I don't know, but I would like to hear, we're talking about methods of managing stress. One that we left out was humor. Anybody hear a good joke? I mean, one of the best things you can do is find a YouTube channel that has your genre of humor and tune into it routinely. And, it helps balance things out, helps take away the aggravation and frustration. Another is music. And Robin is our in-house musician, and she has a wonderful song. It's the Happy Cell song, and you can sing it as you're breathing deeply.
That's true. Well, you need to breathe deeply to sing, but yeah.
Okay.
So does that mean you want to do the Happy Cell song?
Oh, yes, let's do the happy song, the Happy Cells.
Okay.
I need to regenerate my cells.
All right, guys.
And while she's singing that, sing along with her. And I hope you jotted down Chris's number. Chris, would you give the number again? Write this number down. We want all of you to participate without dogs barking in the background, telephones ringing, and we have enough of that ourselves here. And while guitar's playing. What's your number again, Chris?
My number is 732-272-7952.
Okay.
732-272-7952.
Okay. So here's the Happy Cell song. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and well. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. Sing along. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well.
Thank you. Yes, as you're doing your deep breathing, just sing that song in your head. Okay. Anyone else text in or send in a question?
Carmen said when she put a zippered enclosure on her mattress, she just sprayed ammonia inside and it worked, which is great because I guess she didn't have super resistant things like I did, but yeah.
Ammonia fumes are fantastic.
They are.
Anyone else?
That's all I have at this point. Oh, wait, I take it back. Yes, Lynn wants to know, what about the little, blood bumps on your skin? I am assuming she means they're like little bites more than a rash. And those tend to be from mites, I would say. And
Yeah, the mites are biting, and little strawberry spots are typically related with a protozoan, but the bumps are most likely mites.
Right.
So you want to use, you can use diatomaceous earth on your skin, you can use our creams and lotions, you can use the body wipe, definitely bathing 3 times a day in the beginning with half a cap of the Nature's Gift and the disinfectant of your choice, up to 45 minutes.
Yeah, she said when they actually come off and they bleed.
Yeah, that's probably some kind of mite or definitely a parasite. So disinfecting the area of where they may be coming from is going to be very important, finding the source.
Yes.
In addition to the skin cleaning.
Right. Rose wants to know, can your skin get worse before it gets better? She says her skin has become extremely dry. I just want to say that after the bathing, you know, can dry out your skin actually. And after the bath and the shower, I developed a protocol with coconut oil and essential oils, using coconut oil as the carrier oil, and coconut oil is just wonderful for your skin, and it replenishes it and helps heal it. And I would encourage you to slather it all over your skin. it helps.
You might mix some of the Nature's Gift concentrate in with it, make a slurry of the coconut oil, and absorb it, because the Nature's Gift hydrates your skin, and the oils feed your skin.
Right. In
Any
fact,
other
I would use Nature's Gift and clove oil and peppermint oil and tea tree oil and neem oil and coconut oil and mix them all together, basically. No other question yet.
Okay, I guess we'll have Chris turn on 3 or 4 lines, and you will hear when he opens your line, it'll say unmuted, and you'll have an opportunity to share. And if you don't, then he'll close and open up 3 or 4 more lines. Anyone like to share or ask a question?
I would.
Yes, okay.
This is Carol Ann from Georgia, and I'm on your debriding soap. It has helped me tremendously. I did get Morgellons through a cat scratch that was a cat that was infected with tapeworms, and then I had to have major surgery 6 weeks ago on both breasts. So I had to go off of my homeopathic meds, which are helping me. They've got me on things for the gut, and they tested me. The only thing that's coming up is symptoms of the tapeworm still, and infections from where my breasts were infected with cysts and draining. So I am coming along, I believe, like the other lady said, and doing things you said and spraying in the air. And they put me on what is called, because it came up with so many gut issues, the protocol, which tells me to watch rice and eggs and beans. And I'm not sure if I should look into yours or see, since I'm working with a homeopathic people, I did cut some things, and I notice when I flare up and when I don't, but I was going to get your book, but I'm not sure if I should go ahead with this and see how I'm doing. I cut dairy and some other things. I'm not sure what you guys do, but this is what came up on my chest. And,
so you don't have the book yet, and you haven't done the diet?
I haven't done the diet yet, and
okay.
But definitely when I first went there, a friend sent me that works owns an herb shop, and the first thing that came up on the screen was the Morgellons tapeworm, infestation, and every doctor I had been to just laughed at me. It was horrible. It was the most horrible thing. This is a real nightmare because you know it's going on in your body, because I am normally so healthy.
Morgellons and tapeworms are not the same thing. Tapeworms are treated generally with a specific medication. I forget the name of it, Paraxicol or something like that. I forget. I may be far off, but it's a specific medication. What's that?
Oh, okay.
A specific medication for tapeworms. Fenbendazole does help with some tapeworms, but not all. So there's definitely a specific medication. Now, as far as working with homeopaths, unless they're familiar with this protocol, I don't recommend mixing, because I really can't. I don't know what they use. I don't know what impact. For instance, many of them might use wormwood and what's the other, black walnut. And if you're dealing with columba oil, it's only going to make things worse. So, I mean,
no, I don't have that. But they've got me on like a detox right now, Lymphstone and Biofilm and Marcozyme and Ultra MSP for your gut, because my my whole body just went to pieces from this mess.
Okay. Biofilm should be fine. I don't know about the other things, for instance, but for the gut we use Restore and Calcium Dayclex, and we use the L-glutamine. We use those three things for the gut. So that's our approach. We use diatomaceous earth to...
so I can order when I use up what I have.
We use diatomaceous earth. We use consuming the mouthwash to clean your body, and we recommend fenbendazole, looking into that. So our approach is slightly different.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello? We lost the lady?
I guess.
Okay, anyone else? Your
I
line's
just
open?
wanted to say, I don't know if she's still listening, but I would recommend getting the book, and the diet shouldn't conflict with anything else, but any other protocol, but I think the diet's helpful even if that's the only thing you do. So I just highly recommend it.
Anyone else like to share or comment if your line is open? Okay, let's open up a few more lines, Chris. Well, looks like it's going to be a short call. You have anything to say to close, Robin?
Hi, this is Suzanne from Florida, and I just have a quick question about cloves. Right now, I wash my hair with shampoo, NG, lavender, and drops of lavender oil. And I do color my hair, and I do think it lightens it. Will the clove oil, if I switch to the clove oil, will that do anything to the color in my hair?
No. It won't,
No?
and it's much more effective than the lavender. Lavender is very soothing and calming oil. Clove oil actually kills things. It really does.
Oh, okay.
So
Now,
so
does that
it won't
smell
change the colors. My experience has been no, it won't affect it.
Okay. So, and the other question is, I just lost my train of thought. So you're saying the lavender I've been using all this time, I know I'm getting slowly better, but the clove...
No, parasites do not like essential oils. And lavender is a wonderful oil. I just think there are other ones that are more effective if you want to actually do more, do more.
Right. As far as the clove goes, all I can think of is the cloves you put on a ham to cook. Do I smell like a clove?
We have feedback. Somewhere we have background noise.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Rodriguez, and my question is that sometimes it feels like EMF, Wi-Fi frequencies, like are controlling my parasites. Like, I don't know. I just feel like frequencies that are in my house, like maybe the refrigerator and then the Wi-Fi and also my power outlets help my bugs come out of my skin, and they get real irritated when they hear these frequencies.
Yeah. Did you complete the questionnaire?
I did.
Okay. So when you got the recommendations, there were 3 things to do. Shungite for your cell phone, Stetson filters to plug into your outlets, and there was, I think, something else so you can cover your meter with it outside. Did you get the Stetson filter?
Also, real copper pennies, old copper pennies. You can tape them onto your devices.
Okay.
Each person is a little different sensitivity to EMF. For some people, the symptoms can be totally caused by EMF, and until they get rid of the EMF problem, it's a nightmare. If you have Wi-Fi, you can get covers for your routers. As far as the TV goes, I don't know what the Stetson filter.
Shungite you can stick on the back of the TV. I mean, the EMF can activate parasitic activity so that when you're near a device that's using Wi-Fi, you experience more.
Maybe we'll get somebody to speak on this in a few weeks who's more knowledgeable about what you can do. When we're looking at 5G, I think all bets go out the window as far as using Shungite and many of the things that we use. So I don't know. Yeah, this is why we don't like to open up all the lines, because we have feedback or this extraneous noise. Anyone else like to share or ask a question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Okay, it's Maria in Texas. I had an attack the other night by something I thought was Morgellons, but then all of a sudden my legs above the knee, the thighs, front and back, were just suddenly itching me like crazy. I wanted to claw my legs. I did a little bit, tried to refrain, and stopped it with apple cider vinegar. This brand was Bragg's, old brand I always used, but I started rubbing on the Bragg's very generously, just slathering it front and backs of legs. And I never experienced this before, but I was seeing a lot of black insects or whatever. They were larger than I thought mites could be.
15 minutes, though.
But there they were.
Some mites are
that's when I really need you.
Am I talking at the same time someone else?
Somebody else is speaking. If you're speaking, could you please stop? We do one person at a time. And Maria is talking right now. Maria, some mites are microscopic and some are much bigger. So, they could be.
These were bigger. I did a count, and on both legs combined, there were over 200, and this was just blowing my mind.
The question is, have you been able to find the source where they came from?
Right.
No, I looked and I didn't know. I had some black spots on they were tiny, on my sheet. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see anything more than that except a couple of big ones, which I thought, well, these are some kind of bug pest that got into my mattress, and they were spots as big as a teardrop.
Well, the answer seems to be to find the source of them, get into disinfecting your bedding again or whatever, because that's what you experienced. You got attacked by the environment somehow.
Right.
They didn't just come out of your body. You got something in your environment contributed to them.
It had never happened before like that. Boy. I'll just be alert. And
track it down. See where they came from.
Hey, I also experienced the same thing as well. The same type of situation happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
What part of the country are you in?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and my name is Rodriguez Finley. And mine happened at nighttime when I'm in bed. And
yes.
So what I done was I grabbed my cell phone. I went to my camera. I turned my camera on to where it was fully zoomed out. And what happened was I was able to see these like flying atoms or like organisms flying around in my room. It was flashing like little light bulbs. It was flashing organisms flying all over in my bedroom at night.
Wow.
From my camera. And
they
so
could be flying mites.
Were they flying high up? Was that Columbula?
No, Columbula doesn't fly.
So
but
there are thousands and thousands of mini lights, LED lights.
There are 40,000 different species of mites, and many of them do fly. And the key is to get them out of the environment. One thing, spraying, cleaning the walls. The electrostatic sprayer would be the absolute perfect answer because it would zap them like in seconds. You would have the whole room cleaned in a second or two.
Now, the weirdest thing is that my wife sleeps beside me and she don't feel a thing.
Well, they don't attack everybody.
No, there's something about your physiology that they like and prefer over hers.
Okay.
It's why some people are susceptible more to Morgellons and others aren't. You have a family where one person is dramatically affected, others are not affected at all. Some are minimally affected, so it varies.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Well, stay tuned.
So you'd want to definitely have a good air filter. Last week we talked about air filtration. What was that model that we have in the book? Robin, do you remember?
Oh, I don't know about the model in the book.
Well, whatever you use is in the book.
Okay, I use a it's called GermGuard air purifier with a HEPA filter.
I don't need to double it up on the hole. That's still really shiny.
Excuse me, could you mute
quit
yourself?
butting in.
You're talking about something totally different. You can
the problem is the phone lines are open and people are talking to people in the room, and this is why.
And if you're going to do that, just hit *6 so that we don't have to listen. No offense.
Okay. We forgot to tell everybody to do *6. That's our fault.
Well, I mentioned it way in the beginning.
Yeah, but when we opened up the lines, we should have told everybody, if you're not going to talk, do *6.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, better late, better than never.
Okay, so if the lines are open, so if you're not talking, do *6, and if you would like to share or talk or ask a question, do *6, and the line will be open to you.
I have another question. This is Maria again. Do you know anything about pine tar soap that is unhealthy, or is it a carcinogen, or what?
I don't know a lot about it. I know people use it. I can't really answer it. This is the kind of question you would email me, and I'd go online and I'd find out. You could go to Google yourself and look it up, the toxicity of pine tar. You can Google pine tar, and carcinogen and see what you come up with?
Well, I called the number that was on their packet, and they mentioned, this lady mentioned some of the essential oils, the ones that we are familiar with. She mentioned those and said to mix it with them. And I thought, well, maybe we have used that at some point. But I will send information to you, Richard.
Sure.
I'll email it.
Okay, thank you.
And they were lady was very generous in giving me information. So.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else like to share or ask a question? Open up your line, *6 if you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Hi, this is June from Pennsylvania.
Hi, June.
Hi. You haven't heard from me because I had a massive heart attack.
Oh, no.
So sorry.
You want to hear the crazy part about it? I am so used to pain that in the midst of a heart attack, I went to sleep. When I woke up in the morning and still had the pain, it dawned on me because of the areas that were hurting that I was having a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
It was a widowmaker.
Oh.
Massive heart attack. 95% of people do not survive this heart attack. Yet, I went to sleep on it.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm alive.
Thank God.
They put 4 stents in my main left descending coronary artery.
Well, glad you're back with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep coming back. Yes, how are you doing with Morgellons and skin parasites?
It's terrible. It gets worse every day. And I want to tell you that in the hospital, I was hospitalized for 2 months in 2 different hospitals. They, pushed me on to a long-term. All the doctors were very respectful about the Morgellons. They acknowledged it. They didn't call me crazy.
Wow.
They gave me what I asked for to help me with it somewhat, though I had to fight for some things, like getting a shower, because they had never showered anyone with all the tubes in them that I had. Mm-hmm. But they finally got the nursing supervisor in, and she showered me. Now, they weren't much help. They offered nothing to help me, but things are changing. I think you need to know this. It might give you some hope. It's getting around that they found out it's a spirochete, and, the doctors are starting to accept it, though they have not heard about it. Mm-hmm. But I had to educate so many people when I was short of breath, it about killed me. Mm. Then of course they looked it up, read up on it, and it is included in my diagnoses. And I actually have like 17 major diagnoses. I have been given a maximum of 5 years to live. Mm-hmm. And I will soon be 67, so I've lived a pretty good life. And also, they found out that the Morgellons is in my lungs. Mm-hmm. It's all through my digestive system and my lungs and God knows where else. My difficulty with the diet is that, are you there?
Yes.
I am less than 100 pounds, and I have diabetes with a tendency toward hypoglycemia, and I have a lot of nausea. I wake up almost every morning with nausea at the very least. So, and my doctor does not
nausea,
feel that I should restrict my diet.
For nausea, Alka-Seltzer Gold. You take.
Oh no, I don't know. They gave me what is it called, Zofram, and it works wonderfully. It's a sublingual tablet.
Right.
Okay.
Never mind.
So your question is?
Well, I have a couple questions. One thing is that I have recently gone back on the internet trying to do some research, and YouTube has all kind of stuff on it about Morgellons. And I'm wondering what you think of this stuff about the, that noise, about the alien black goo and a supposed cure of some kind of magnetism. What can you tell me?
Well, all I know is the diet and our protocol works. I know there are cofactors involved. I know things like 5G. I know things like glyphosate. I know chemtrails. That's a whole thing that gets into AI, artificial intelligence, all contributing factors. But the bottom line is it's the diet and disinfecting, cleaning, bathing, cleaning your skin. Last week we did, I think it was last week, our update was about how to clean your lungs and respiratory system, which you would want to listen to that. We talked about
again?
Last week on YouTube. We did our subject. Part of the subject was how to clean your lungs and your respiratory system.
And you did an email update about it also.
And did an email update about it. So this is nothing alien to us. We deal with it. The stomach, we talked about that earlier in how to get the gut biome back with the minerals that we use, the Restore, the calcium Dayclex, the L-glutamine. These are things. Prebiotics, there are updates about prebiotics. We don't recommend probiotics until, because most people are dealing with columbuli and probiotics actually feed them, but prebiotics are great. There are updates in the blog about, many of them are simply vegetables that you consume, specific vegetables to get your prebiotics. So, this is where we're at. We live our life here in these areas.
And I would just like to say, YouTube is not the best place to. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. It doesn't mean it's all true. And if you do research, you need.
Yeah, I learn a lot from YouTube, and then there are some things that are so far out that at least I have experience. I have 20 years in this, so I have a better idea of what is out in left field and what makes sense.
Oh, I have your book.
Good.
I read it.
Thank you.
Why?
And take advantage of tuning in and asking questions like you did today. Robin coaching, Ethel coaches. Write questions to me. We're here for you.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time affording the treatments. I'm waiting for a stimulus check that I did not get.
Okay. Basically, the diet is the most important thing, and that's a shift in your diet. We do have a discount store for those who qualify who are on limited income. So you could write me and let me know what your situation is, and we can offer you a discount store.
Yes, I'm disabled and on Social Security retirement now.
You qualify. Also, people who are veterans of our armed services or who are active in the armed services, they also qualify for the discount store. So email me, and I'll be glad to give you the link to the discount store.
Great. Yeah, no, I'm not. But my son is a professional soldier. He has been over in the Mideast for like 3 times already.
Well, you qualify simply because of your financial situation. You don't have to be a vet to qualify for you.
Okay. But you know what else I wanted to ask you?
Yes.
I have to wonder. This might sound far-fetched to you, but all this, like, you know, I get black stuff and white stuff and fuzz is what I get, okay? The black stuff is like grains of rice. I mean, the white stuff is like grains of rice, but most of the black stuff, well, all of the black stuff, is so hard and dry and seemingly desiccated that I'm wondering if that's dead ones.
Well, most likely it is, but we're not entomologists here, and so we don't really. I mean, we're about doing the diet and doing the disinfecting, and all that stuff clears out. Doesn't matter really what it is. You get rid of it. You clean it out.
Yeah, because it all hurts.
When we look at Morgellons, we look at an infinite variety of symptoms in terms of what people experience. And this being the orientation program, the one thing I forgot to mention way back in the beginning is that it's important to do it. It's like driving a car with 4 clutches, and it's important to do 4 things simultaneously. It's important to do the diet. That's number 1. Without the diet, we don't know how to be of benefit or value to you. The second thing is it's important to disinfect your environment. And the third thing is it's important to clean your skin. Those 3 things are done simultaneously at the same time. And if affordable, as much of the supplements, the targeted supplements to build health and immune functioning.
One of the things I do that seems to help me most is that I exfoliate every day, and it gives me some comfort for a few hours. It really does. And I really get a lot of crap out of me. Oh, God.
Well, the point about exfoliating is that unless you're on the diet, you're going to exfoliate forever. There's never going to be an end. Once you're on the diet, you get them cleaned out internally, then the skin peels off, and you exfoliate, and there's going to be an end. It won't be forever.
Well, I'm going to talk to my doctor some more about the diet. He did look up the book on the internet, you know, for me, and is trying to educate himself.
Well, what about the diet is a problem?
Like I said, I'm less than 100 pounds. I keep losing weight, and I tend toward hypoglycemia, and I pass out from it. And I'm also have hypotension that I black out.
Well, do you depend on fruit as a form of carbohydrates or wheat? What do you depend on for your carbohydrates?
I do like rice. I eat a lot of rice.
All right. So you want to stay away from white rice. You want brown rice because you have a tendency towards candida. So you want brown rice. You can have millet. You can have rye. You can have spelt. Those are grains that you can have. To minimize my weight loss, I used to bulk up on turkey meatballs, and because they're inexpensive, they're very brown. I mean, that very inexpensive meat is the turkey meat, not the white meat, but the regular turkey meat, and make your own pasta sauce from one of the recipes, or there is a brand, I think it's Cantina, that's compatible with the diet. Find the brand and use that, and that's how I bulked up. And
I'll tell you, I have found that the worst thing is bread. Oh my God! If I eat bread, they come out of my tongue after it.
Rice, spinach, pasta, you can have that. So yes, you can bulk up, and definitely bread is not on the diet.
Okay, if I can, I'll talk to my doctor, and if I can find a way to get more calories with that diet without any sugar at all, because when I go hypoglycemic, that's the first thing I grab is, sugar. Well,
here's the good news. The diet isn't forever, and if you're precise and very effective at what you're doing, you can get to stage 2 of the diet within a week. And there you can have honey.
Even when I have had this for 5 years and 3 years previously that I had 3 years that I somehow was cured. Originally I got it back in 1998 when I was on interferon and my immune system was down. I had it for 3 years. I got rid of it somehow for 3 years. And now I got it back. I've had it 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how I got rid of it for 3 years, but I did.
I don't know. If you can figure out that would be very beneficial for all of us.
Well, maybe it could be changing environments so much that weren't contaminated, because I was in and out of a hospital, a nursing home, a homeless shelter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, environment definitely is an issue. So
yes,
okay.
And I was moving a lot into different environments, and out of my apartment that was, contaminated, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might have had. Also, I was on a biologic at the time, Stelara, which I'm on now again, and it did take away my psoriasis, which was very bad, and it's all gone now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this Stelara really did it. I don't know.
No, medications don't cause it. Well, anyway, thank you.
I mean, no, I meant take it away, because it sheds the...
It's important that you read the book, see what you can do about the diet with the doctor. Again, as I said, the FDA requires me to tell you to discuss it with your doctor and see what you can do, and keep coming back to the program and reading the book and use it as a reference. It's a lot of work. You got to work on the environment. You got to work on your cleaning. You got a lot of work to do. Okay?
I clean a lot. I use ammonia and everything. I use permethrin. I clean a lot. But, one thing, and then I'll let you go. That was interesting to me, though, on YouTube about the magnetism cure, because I have noticed these things that come out of me, you could put them somewhere in all kind of disorder. You look at them again, they're lined up like a little battalion of soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
That they follow the poles, the magnetic poles somehow.
Right.
So I wonder about this cure, so-called cure they come up with recently that's supposed it's some kind of magnetic treatment. I don't really know what exactly it is.
Well, there's a fellow in Texas. His name is Michael Chapella. He's been doing magnets for years and years, and some people say putting a magnetic bracelet on is good and helps, but not very many people. He's claimed to have a device that is magnetic that cures you, but he's never come out with it, never actually produced it. He has as far as I know, this is my knowledge of him, I could be wrong, but he has a getaway in New Mexico or whatever. It's not a resort, but it's where people, there's no disinfection protocols there. There's no special diet. It's just about eating healthy. And I've had one person went there thinking that it would be the last 5% of her getting her life back, and she walked away with another infection. So, I mean.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, well,
so,
I got it bad now because, I went 2 months. I went for nearly 2 months hospitalized and only managed to get 2 showers. And, just very quick bed baths. Most of them I had to do myself,
Right.
So I'm a mess right now. But you know what? I see pictures of people with lumps all over their skin and sores, and I don't have that. And I know it's because I exfoliate, because sometimes I'll wake up with lumps and I exfoliate and they're gone.
Good.
They're
Okay.
gone. My doctor can't believe. He looked at me. He says, "My God," he says, "but your skin looks so good." I says, "Well, yeah, you don't know the work I put into it."
Right. Okay.
I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you
for sharing. Keep coming back to the program. All right. Anyone else like to share before we close it or ask a question? Okay. We're going to close the program. I'm going to thank Robin for being my co-host, Ethel for being the greeting coach. We're going to close and then give out phone numbers, and the winner of the prize will be announced at that point. So keep coming back to our program. Watch our YouTube channel, and we're here to educate you on how to clean them out of your life, out of your environment, out of your skin, out of your body, and build the health and nutrition that you need to get your life back to normal.